Hello there guys, and welcome to my review of the 2010 CollectA Rugops. Now just to start off, I have to retract a bunch of the praise I gave the Rajasaurus for this thing. I do really like the colours, but it is a bit chubby, especially the feet. It's got really fat feet, and the arms are outdated. There is shrink wrapping as well, and I'm not sure what they were doing with the head. However, Rugops is only known from a skull, so pretty much the whole rest of its body will be inferred off its relatives like Scorpiovenator or Cryptops and other creatures like that. I think this is, because this is from 2010, it's based off the old estimate, which is around 8 meters, whereas nowadays we think it's more like 5 to 6 meters. But it is nice that they have this sort of interesting looking cranial ornamentation, which kind of looks like wrinkled skin, because the skull of Rugops has got these striations down the side, which we now figure are for transferring blood into an inflatable display structure on the nose. Yeah. Eyebrow ridges are way too pronounced. It sort of has lips, but I'm not really sure. The paint is a bit lazy, I must say. Like, there's no differentiation of the colour of the rectus. The claws aren't painted a different colour on the hands, but they are on the feet. And the teeth are a bit crap. Yeah. I haven't even painted the nostrils. Yeah. Tail is adequately wide, but it's weird how it tapers abruptly about 2/3 of the way down. It does have adequately beefy legs for an abelosaurid, but it's got really fat feet. Like, it should be more like that than like that. It does make for a very stable toy, however, which is always good to see, you know, like something that doesn't need a base, and that CollectA are putting bases on a lot of their older figures. And I do kind of like the pose. It's sort of, well, it's sort of angled upwards, but then its head is turning to the side. Hands are pronated, of course, which is rather wrong. Well, the arms overall are just terrible. There's not as much noticeable texture. Like, there is scale detail, but it's not as prominent. And there is detail on the inside of the mouth, but they could have done a better job with painting the lower jaw. Like, that's a little bit lazy. Yeah, like, if you look from the top, the skull is way too wide because the eyebrow ridges are too big. But, you know, well, I needed a medium-sized abelosaurid to be Rugops, and it was a choice between the CollectA Rugops or the CollectA Majungasaurus. The Majungasaurus, I think, is in a slightly better pose because its back is parallel to the ground, but this is a Rugops. So, some size comparisons. Got constant of the Papodimetrodon, the Rajasaurus from 2 years later. Got the CollectA Irritator, which is from 2011, I think. The Safari Archaeopteryx, and something that I just recently got that is going to be appearing alongside this thing in the same project is the 2021 Safari Spinosaurus, which I will be doing a review on in due course, of course. Yeah, so these are almost to scale because this is, of course, based on the old estimate, but it's good enough. So, yeah. Jeez. So I gave the Rajasaurus a 4.6. I think I'm going to have to give this thing a 3.9, because it does have some merit, but it is kind of bad. So yeah, with that, I'll just say thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.